Is there any way to move my head that doesn't hurt? What a night. Oh. Yeah. Okay, focus. That beer I had for breakfast was so good. I think I'll have one more for dessert. I'm an alcoholic, but I'm a functioning alcoholic. I got a job. I do my job. My dad had a problem with beer. So did my grandfather. I guess you might say I was born with it. You know, but it's something I can choose. I can live with this. It's not so bad. I miss my wife and kids. Wish I had a car. Wish I had a house. I wish I had a friend. You know, a guy like me wouldn't get much acceptance in the church, I suppose. Had a lot of people talk to me about that, church people. So I guess I'm just an alcoholic. I was born this way. For me, it's natural, it's normal, it's my chosen lifestyle. But if I did go to church, is there anybody here that would be my friend? I got one. I got one. Now, I think most of you would like to be my friend. I think you would, but you probably just don't know how to go about it. And you probably don't know a lot of the facts about alcohol that I purported to share with you, all right? We are going to get you an education today, not on alcohol, but on the challenge of homosexuality. I just gave you about 7 reasons why I'm an alcoholic. Those 6 or 7 reasons can also be used to justify homosexuality. They can be justified to take drugs. You can use it for just about any sin that you can think of. And as the worship team just shared with us, you do not have to be shackled by these powers of sin. We're going to talk about why this matters today. Why does it matter that homosexuality seems to be accepted around us? Why is it important? We're going to define homosexuality. We're going to define the church's stance on homosexuality. And we're going to give you just some myth busters that you can use to talk with your friends and your coworkers and, yes, your family members about homosexuality. This is not a completely foreign subject to myself. It's probably not foreign to you. I have a stepsister. She's been married, I don't know, probably 25 years to her wife. Hope you caught that reference. I also have another family member who is married to his wife, who would describe herself as a bisexual person. When I worked for hospice, just down the road, when I was going to seminary, I worked in Cincinnati for a summer as a hospice chaplain. The majority of our clients at that time were men and women who were dying from AIDS. So I had a lot of opportunity to be exposed and to chat with people a little bit. And I think that Chip Ingram says it best in this book, Culture Shock. If you haven't read it, it's a
great read. There's other books out there. Counterculture by David Platt. I Never Thought I'd See the Day by David Jeremiah. We need to get up to speed as a church with these issues that are going all around us. So let's just share a few words here from Chip Ingram. As we begin this chapter, maybe a little bit differently than you might think, I'd like to offer an apology to the homosexual community. As a follower of Jesus, I want to state as clearly as I can to any homosexual reading these words that I regret the treatment that you've received from people who claim to be my brothers and sisters in Christ. I apologize that we Christians have, as a group, not treated you as Christ wants to treat you. We haven't loved you as Christ loves you. The only experience of Christianity many homosexuals in the community have experienced are with angry, bigoted people, some who've been violent in their rejection. And the absolute love of God has been completely missing from too many encounters. Efforts to compassionately express the truth about God's views on fallen human beings have done little except convey hatred and fear. The stereotype of Christians as homophobics has not come out of thin air. That's only half the problem. Under the banner of Christianity, other groups say to the homosexual community, what you are doing is not morally wrong. They claim the Bible does not prohibit same-sex relationships if they're grounded in love. And besides, the argument goes, the Bible is an outdated book not to be taken literally for today. And we know better. You not only welcome in our churches, but we will also sanctify your relationship by officiating your same-sex wedding and conduct your ceremony in our building. We'll even ordain as our priests or pastors in the name of love, tolerance, and all sexual boundaries in scriptures are ignored. Now, as a result, within self-defined Christian circles, we have one group that champions truth without love, and another group that champions love without truth. How do we discover and communicate the truth in love? How do we put the hatred and the accusations along with the sentimental and wishful thinking that refuses to examine the facts? Well, that's not just a rhetorical question. I am going to share and show you ways that we can engage that very question and go forward with this sensitive matter of homosexuality. First of all, let me grab those presuppositions that the homosexual community brings to the table. Now, I just outlined them all right here. I used a different form of sin, but they're all the same. And this is how sin works, and it's not just for homosexuality. It is for many, many, many forms of sin. It starts out something like this. Here's the homosexual presuppositions. Now, whether you buy this or not, this is what the community of LGBT will share with you, all right? So this is their presupposition. I was born gay, all right? So I was born this way. This is who I am. I am identified as a homosexual, all right? So when you look at me, you see a homosexual, all right? It's who I am. This is normal and natural. It's a biological fact, all right? Since I was born this way. Homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle, and it's no less valid than any other lifestyle. Now, since I was born this way, and homosexuality is my identity, and it's who I am, and it's normal, and it's natural, and this is my chosen lifestyle, then this is not a moral issue. It's not a moral issue. It's a civil rights issue. All right? So that's how the homosexual community looks at this. They don't look at it as a moral issue. They look at it as a combination of biology and civil rights. All right? And why not? Let's just look at the last 60, 70 years. Right? Let's look at the suppression of women. That's pretty biological. We went over that last week, right? So let's get those women's rights up there. Let's get minorities, the African American community, the Asian community. I mean, we got to make this fair for everybody. Now that I'm a lot older, I have a lot more sensitivity to age rights than I ever used to. Now that I'm getting there, all right. So all these little issues are civil rights issues, and the homosexual community wants to just hop right in there too with that banner. Now here's where you and I are coming from. At least here's where I hope you and I are coming from. Sex is a sacred expression of relationship within the confines of a marriage. Sex outside these boundaries is immoral and prohibited. And by the way, while we're picking on homosexuality, that we have this tendency to rank order sins. That's not the huge sin, by the way. Sin is sin is sin. And when you look at the homosexual issue, when you read the passage of Scripture, some of which I'll share with you this morning, you will also see fornication, you'll see adultery, you'll see bestiality. If we were to kind of get up to speed with the 21st century, physical sex in the imagination, pornography, these things all fall into this category, all right? So it's not just like we're picking out this one. Sin is sin is sin. Homosexuality is not a birth trait. It is learned, developed, or chosen behavior. The Bible prohibits same-sex behavior the same as it does any other sin. Homosexuality is not something you are. It's not your identity. It is a behavior that you do. If a behavior that is learned, developed, or chosen that's prohibited by God for your protection, that makes it abnormal and unnatural. The Bible does not teach that homosexuality is a chosen lifestyle, but rather a relationship that is harmful physically, emotionally, and spiritually to those who practice it. And homosexuality is a moral issue. It's not a civil right. It's a moral issue in which something wrong is portrayed as something right. All right, so here's the two viewpoints. Here's, I was born this way, this is natural, this is A-okay. It's a civil rights issue. Here is, that's not okay. The Lord has given us a plan for sexuality. This is outside of the plan, and this is a chosen behavior. Let's run some of the facts and see what we can do to do a little more clarification and a little myth busting on some of the gay community's premises. Number one, I was born this way. All right, so this is one that you'll hear a lot from the gay community. Well, this is who I am. I was just born this way. That is not true. And saying something over and over and over again that is not true does not make it true. All right? We saw that a lot in the last political campaign. And we've probably seen that in the last several political campaigns. If you say something long enough, it becomes fact. Not true. All right? Here's the facts. Research by Johns Hopkins University, Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and this is an interesting one. Evelyn Hooker, who is a noted pro-homosexual scientist, and Masters and Johnson. These people pioneered research in the nature and diagnosis of sexual disorders from 1957 well into the 90s. All right, so these people got 30 years worth of research, and here's the conclusion of all these communities. Genetics and homosexuality connection is a wishful myth. Right? Now these are people that have done their research, and they've done it across decades. Homosexuality, the genetic connection, is a myth. There is no connection there. Now there may be a predisposition. Alcoholism, it seems to be, there seems to be a trait there that indicates that up to 70% of the folks that have a problem with alcohol, there might be some sort of genetic condition. Right? Now to date, nothing has been found in the homosexual community that indicates that. However, I'm going to just go ahead and give them that one. All right? Let's just say that 70% of the homosexual community does have a predisposition towards that sort of behavior. Remember this guy that you were looking at 10 minutes ago? Is there anybody here who would advocate the argument that because I am predisposed to alcohol, it's fine for me to destroy myself drinking alcohol? Right?
That is a horrible, horrible presupposition, all right? Even if I have that tendency towards alcohol, that is not license for me to drink myself to death. If I have a tendency towards drug misuse, that's not a license for me to take prescriptions all the while. If I have a tendency to steal your stuff, crawl through your window at night and look around and take your money and your guns and your TVs, and hopefully you don't have a big dog that bites me, that doesn't make it right, all right? You're right, we do have a genetic disorder. You know what it's called? Sin. All right? So sin is sin is sin. We all got that genetic disorder. It doesn't mean that you pull the trigger and you act on your genetic miswiring. So what's the problem here? You can see it in Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. It's an interesting reflection, as all of Jesus' reflections are. Here come these four guys, and you know the story. They're bringing this person to Jesus, and they look, and the crowds are so huge that they can't get to him. So what do? They climb up on the roof, and they rip the shingles off, and they drop that guy right in front of Jesus. Here's this guy, probably brought there, can you imagine, what if that was you? And how humiliating, They bust through the roof, he drops down right in front of Jesus. He's amazed at their faith. You know what the first words that he says are? They're not taking your mat and walk, by the way. You know what he says? He says, your sins are forgiven. Now you see, every time Jesus is talking with somebody, he's after a deeper issue than what happens to be right in front of him. If somebody's blind, he's not just talking about curing their eyes so they can see what's in front of them. He's talking about a deeper vision. Somebody's paralyzed? Well, we're going to have to unparalyze more than just your body. Right? This guy's problem on the mat was a sin issue. And that's what Jesus said. All right? And so you've got to get underneath the behavior to figure out what the problem is. Anybody that's worked in education, you can pick off a mile away a kid that's got a problem in their home. You can tell them a mile away. I've chatted with some teacher friends of mine, and we figure that you could fix 95% of the discipline problems if you could give a mom and dad that loved each other to every single kid. Got any teachers? You think? Yeah, there's a couple of nods there. Yeah, you bet you could. So you got to get underneath the behavior. So why gay? What's the deal on this? Well, here's some possible environmental factors that seem to have a common thread. All right, family background. Oftentimes, when you listen to a person who is of the homosexual persuasion, you see some of the following factors. You see a father who is absent, abusive, or somehow disengaged with the family. You see a mother that smothers, the kids. You see early signs of sexual abuse. Not every single time? No. But you listen to the stories, and these are common threads in the background of the homosexual community. There's also developmental factors. There's confusion along the way through puberty. All right? Naturally, you're going to have some of these questions. All right? And perhaps even same-sex attractions as you're coming up through puberty. You got to have a safe place to talk about those things. And for most of us, as we learned last week, it's uncomfortable to talk about these sorts of things. So they never get talked about. Environmental factors. This one is the one that really upsets me the most personally, I think. There's a strong media emphasis in movies, in TVs, in books. I was looking at I forgot what it was already, because I'm not a good tech person. But I was looking this morning at this clip from the Super Bowl where you have like little hearts around people, and then you have to kiss. All right, so they're spanning the crowd, the 100,000 people, and they zero in, and there's Gary and Susan. So if you see each other on the screen,
you gotta hug and kiss. All right? Come on, give her a hug. Yeah! Woo! You guys see that? Now there's a good expression of human sexuality right there. Well, anyways, I'm just sitting there eating my oatmeal and, just kind of watching this thing, and here come the hearts. And the hearts get like this guy and this girl, and this guy and this girl, and they're on this couple, and all of a sudden, this guy starts kissing this guy. This was shown at the Super Bowl, and that wasn't the only one. There was a couple of those things. And so media makes this so prevalent in their, just their covering of the gay community. I'll tell you who else makes it prevalent. Teachers, educational programs. This one makes me nuts. That they would teach that this is an alternative lifestyle in our public schools. That's what's getting taught to your kids, folks. Well, not here in Ohio, because each district has their own deal. But that's what gets taught in every other school in the nation. And it starts young, too. Remember last week we were reading some of those stats? By the 4th grade, it's being taught that this is an okay lifestyle, and this is an okay question for you to consider for your own self. Woo! Thanks a lot, schools. You guys are really helping us out on that one. So, there's environmental factors. You know what the reality is? The lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual population, you know what that is in America? It is less than 4%. How do you like that for a stat? All right, we'll hit that one a little bit heavier here in just a second. So, Christians blasting on the problem overlook the broad and complex reasons behind the issue. You need to share and show authentic family love, guidance, and relationship to folks that are in this. Just saying, hey, you're going to die and burn and go to hell. That doesn't get it, all right? So, be on the lookout when you're talking with your friends. Listen to family background. Listen for environmental factors. Listen to developmental factors. And then share some of the following information that I'm about to share with you right now. All right, let's get back to that statistic. Raise your hand if you have heard the statistic that 10% of the homosexual population in America. You heard that 10% figure. All right, a couple hands going up. All right, so 10% of the homosexual, 10% of America is of the homosexual persuasion. This was based on a study from 1948. It's called the Kinsey Report. The Kinsey Report studied a prison population. So based on a population study done of prison in 1948, when you go to mainstream America, and I've been in a public classroom, and I've read what was being taught in several of the schools that I taught at, and that was taught as a fact. Homosexual community is 10% of America. That is not the case. The survey from 1990, and I could understand that people really wouldn't want to share that too much, particularly on a government survey, but 1990 census, 1%. 1994 American Sex Survey. This is that huge study done by the University of Chicago, 4%. 2011 UCLA School of Law. Now, I wouldn't think that that's probably got a lot of Christian friends in it. So you're talking California's law school. 1.7% gay and lesbian population, 1.8% bisexual. That's less than 4%. That study was done 2011. So that 10% figure that you're hearing touted, it is not true. It is closer to 4%. The homosexual lifestyle is normal and healthy. It's an alternative lifestyle. All right? I just want to share this as lovingly as I possibly can with anybody that wrestles with this challenge of homosexuality, and I don't know, maybe there's somebody sitting here today, but I want to share this as lovingly as I can. It is not a safe, healthy lifestyle. Here's the stats. 78% of homosexual males have a sexually transmitted disease. That's almost 4 out of 5. 50% carry HPV, genital warts. For the male homosexual population, you are 1,000 times more likely to acquire HIV or AIDS. 24% of the homosexual population is reported of having over 100 partners in their lifetime. When you do the math and you study the homosexual population, the average lifespan ends before 50. That's the average lifespan of a gay lifestyle. And to date, culture where homosexuality is embraced as an alternative lifestyle, they're evaporating. Right? You've already seen this happen several times. It happened with the Greek Empire. You know, they were heavily into the homosexual lifestyle. They evaporated. It happened to the Roman Empire. They evaporated. There are other factors that are taking place here besides that, right? So usually you'll also see a decline in education. You'll see a weakened cultural foundation. You see a loss of respect for tradition. And you'll see increased materialism. Thinking about 21st century America, doesn't that sound awful familiar? Sure does. Yeah. Now, am I saying that the homosexual community is responsible for the downfall of civilization? No. There's many other factors. But it's symptomatic of a problem that is going on. And you think about the push for rights and this viewpoint. And again, we Christians, we're part of the blame for this too. You know, we need to stand a little bit taller. And again, I hope you're kind of embedding some of these facts into your brain, because if it's only 4% of the population, how come there's so much noise about it? And how come it's so accepted in our community? I mean, even people that have good marriages, they say, well, you know, it's okay for them. You know, it wouldn't be my cup of tea, but it's okay for them. Well, it's not okay for them. It's killing them. Right? So there's the facts. The Bible shares it to be okay to have a committed, loving, monogamous, homosexual relationship. This one makes me crazy too. You know, I have been over the river and through the woods from the places that I just came. I was in a church. This is an independent church, so it's just kind of us. But I've worked in the denominations, and with the denominations, you have people that are grouped geographically. So I was meeting with 16 other pastors in the denomination that I just came from. It's a mainline denomination, and 16 pastors. Guess how many of them kind of thought like I did? Out of 16 churches. We're not talking little churches here, folks. 2. Me and my buddy in the town that I lived in. She and I were the only ones that didn't think this was crazy. And it's all across the denominations. You know, I recently saw, just last week out west, where a lesbian bishop was put in charge of the United Methodist Church. This was last week, you can go look it up. You know, they're having riots in their churches. People are leaving. They're saying, we're out of here. You know, and the bishop says, well, you want to leave? You know, you can't do that. That's our building. I said, fine. The church is not the building. You can have the building, all right? We're going elsewhere, right? So it's a huge problem across denominations. Many mainline denominations are saying this is okay. Now, don't confuse that at the local level, and I learned that one too. There are some dynamite people in the United Methodist Church, dynamite people in the Presbyterian, in the Episcopal churches. Awesome folks. But I've kind of come to a place now, wherever I meet somebody from a church, I just kind of talk to them one at a time. I don't assume that they share my viewpoint until after I've talked to them. But I don't write them off either, right? So don't be throwing rocks at our friends in other denominations until we've had an opportunity to discuss where they personally feel about things. Back to this committed relationship thing. We went over this last week, all right? Genesis, and again, you are 26 lines into the Bible. God said, let us make men in our own image, after our own likeness. He created them in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have domination over it. And then jumping to verse 31, it says, God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. You know, the other previous days it was just good. This day, after he made a reflection of his own image, he said it was very good. All right? So what's that saying? You're made in the image of God. You're made for relationship. You're made for procreation. And God himself said, this is very, very good stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Right? Yada, yada, yada. It was made popular on Saturday Night Live a couple of years back. It has this tendency to be, yeah, I know that. It's really interesting. You know what yada means? Yada means to know. And it's really interesting when you start looking at it in a biblical perspective. Genesis chapter 4. Adam yada his wife. He knew his wife, and we said last week that a relationship is, in the yada sense of the term, man and wife. We're talking not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You just intimately know this person. You see yada used another time in the Bible. If you're to cruise over to Genesis 19, verse 5. Genesis 19, if you're doing the math in your head, if you think that you're about to the Sodom and Gomorrah passages, you're exactly right. That is where you are. And again, Lot is in this crazy town, completely immoral people, and the angels are there in the community, and they're there to destroy it. And what do the people of the community say? They say, where are these men that came to this town? Bring them out that we may yada them. Now, mainline denominations that are in the homosexual community are of this persuasion. They will say, well, that just means they wanted to just be friendly with them. And it was just a matter of hospitality. It's the same word used as Adam and Eve. They would say, well, that's the Molech culture, right? And so that's the problem. No, it is not the problem. Go back to English class. That's what that word means. And that's what this community of immoral people had in mind. Levitical law, Leviticus chapter 18. Thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech. Neither shalt thou profane the name of the Lord. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Bestiality references. Again, it's not correct in the Old Testament. Well, God is all about love, and love covers all sins, right? So why wouldn't it be okay for just people to be married? What's the deal with that, Jesus? I mean, they're just going to be married to one another, and they're going to be committed, right? Aren't you about love, Jesus? Well, apparently there's a little more that Jesus has to say on that than love. Going to Mark 11. He's talking with the crowd here, and he says, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, you shall be brought down to hell. For the mighty works which have been done in you, if they would have been done in Sodom, it would still be here to this day. But I say to you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment for Capernaum. Now, this is kind of a passage that's talking about Capernaum, who got to see all the miracles that Jesus had done, and they're just forgetting about them. But the truth is, when you look at the subject, he's referencing the fact that horrible things did once happen as a result of judgment that took place in Sodom. Apostle Paul, I don't know how anybody can read this one and conclude otherwise that this is a bad idea. Romans verse 26 and 27. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women changed the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense for their error which was meet. King James Version, bottom line, being polite about it, God does not like this stuff, right? It is taboo. Here's the problem you and I have. We want to beat people up, you know? We forgot all about that guy right here that I showed you. And he was a hurting guy, and he was in a sin habit, and he was hurt, and he'd heard it from the community before. Who doesn't know that drinking a six-pack every night for a couple of decades is a bad idea? You know? It's a horrible idea. And yet, where is the love for this guy? Now again, he's got to want to change, but he's got to hear it in love. And you've got to be a friend to these folks. I remember, this was back when it was pretty uncool. Not that it's real cool now, but you try being a young homosexual male in a high school. All right, this is a number of years back. This guy was gay. Everybody knew it. And he got funked on a regular basis. You know, that kid took every single course that I taught in that high school. I was a high school business teacher. You know why he took those courses? He didn't take them because he liked business. He took them because it was a safe place to come. Because he could come, and he knew I wasn't going to bust on him. And he knew that if anybody tried to bust on him, that I would protect him. And I would get on him, and I'd say, hey, knock it off, not in my class. Right? This is the type of environment that you have to create if you're going to talk seriously about someone who is in this homosexual lifestyle. Feelings and attraction for same sex means I'm a homosexual. False. Feelings say how you are. They do not say who you are. Alright? I am a guy that drives old trucks. That's who I am. I've always had an old truck. I've got an old truck now. And when I die, I hope I have a 1973 truck, and I hope I live another 40 years. So I'm a guy I'm an old truck guy. Are you kidding me? There's a lot more to my chances than driving an old truck, for crying out loud. There's all facets and wonderful parts of my personality, many of which I sparkle upon this congregation at every chance that I get, all right? I'm not a guy that drives old trucks. I'm not old truck Mike, all right? That is not who I am. It's one of the things that I enjoy. It's not who I am. It's not an okay lifestyle. That thing that the schools throw at us as a fact, it's not an okay lifestyle. Temptations do not define us. All right? It's true. I might have a problem with alcoholism, and I've heard people say I'm an alcoholic, and I get that thinking. All right? But there's a whole lot more to a person than an attraction to alcohol at every waking moment of their life. All right? Wow. And so that lifestyle does not mean that's who you are. Change is possible. I love that Corinthians passage where it talks about, again, the sexually immoral, the idolaters, the drunkards, all these people, they will not inherit the kingdom of God, and that's true. And here we go, beating people up again. But look at verse 11. And that is what some of you were. But you were washed, you were sanctified, and justified in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ by the Spirit of God. That is available for everybody. Well, once a homosexual, always a homosexual, right? Wrong. Masters and Johnson, again, these people had 30 plus years of research. This is what they found. They found that 79.1% of people coming out of the homosexual lifestyle have immediate success. That's 4 out of 5 people have immediate success. 71% celebrate a permanent exit from the lifestyle. 7 out of 10 people who draw the line, walk on out of there, and never come back. And they get married, they have a family. Does that mean that they don't struggle? They probably sure do, all right? Just like the alcoholic, just like the workaholic, just like the person who struggles with drugs, like the person who struggles with pornography. You have this struggle in your life. You'll probably fight it all your life. But you can be victorious over this problem. Last point. Christians are homophobics, and they can't fully accept people who struggle with gay feelings, fantasies, or practice. Now, this is probably the saddest statement, the saddest one of the 7, because I'd say that this is probably true. Right? I don't think that we have, as a church community, always been so kind. Here's what time it is. It is time to speak the truth in love. I've given you a lot of stats, all right? When you're chatting with folks, again, don't use it as a club, just point it out, all right? And again, these statistics come from people that are actually pro-homosexual, all right? And so, share in love what you now know. We all have left sinful patterns and habits behind. I've struggled with things in my life. You've struggled with things in your life too. We can leave sin behind. It's possible to conquer this. Masters and Johnson says almost 80% have left the homosexual community. You can do this, but you gotta want to do it. You gotta want it. Let love, acceptance, and grace rule our actions. What did Jesus say? How are we to treat people? You know the verse. You know the words. Somebody was asking, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" And he said to that rich young ruler, he says, "You love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the greatest and foremost commandment." This isn't just for the homosexual community. This is for any addiction problem, any sin problem. You're not born that way. It's not who you are. There's plenty of people that get out of these situations, and there's a lot of them sitting right here in this church this morning. You can break the bonds of sin. Invite the Lord Jesus Christ into your heart. If you've never done that, this is a beautiful day to do that. I will talk with you. Pastor Nick will talk with you, any of the worship team or the leaders, but we can help you out. Make that decision. But probably the bigger message for most of us, and I bet you most of us know somebody that's in the homosexual lifestyle. Share a relationship. Don't beat them up. They know how you feel. Love them for who they are and where they're at. That's how the Lord loves you, right? Let's pray. Lord, thank you so much for this informational message. Help me to take information and put it and translate it into love, Lord. When I meet folks that are challenged with this situation in their life, let me take people for who they are